Well, it's New Year's Eve, the last day of 2018. I hope you guys had a great year. And we have an entire day, a full day of college football bowl games. How exciting is that? Well, these some dry-ass games here, ain't they? The only good thing about today's games is it's not the playoffs, right? God, Jesus, after watching those two massacres in the playoffs, some of these games might actually be interesting and entertaining. The playoffs, a complete waste of time. Of course, that shouldn't be a surprise to anybody who paid attention to college football this year. Notre Dame and Oklahoma, either one really had any business being anywhere near the college football playoff. Neither one a top 4 team, not even close. Oklahoma, borderline top 10. Notre Dame is probably about the 15th best team. But listen, as long as the playoff committee keeps playing favorites and politics and trying not to piss off certain conferences and trying to make everybody happy or as many people happy as they can, we're going to continue to get these types of matchups in the playoffs. The playoff committee has one job. They have one mandate. You can read the mandate given to the playoff committee when this thing was first started. Put the 4 best teams in the playoff. Not the most deserving, not the most amount of conference champions, not the teams with the least amount of losses, the 4 best teams. All this talk about playoff expansion, you don't need playoff expansion. You want more of these mollywop games we saw in the Orange Bowl and the Cotton Bowl with Oklahoma and Notre Dame getting ran out of the building? You want more of those types of games? You want to expand the playoff? No. 4 teams is fine. Just put the 4 teams in there that need to be in there. Anyway, I could probably talk for an hour about that, and I'll probably spend a lot of time over the next 4 months doing just that. But anyway, let's get into today's video. All right, now it shouldn't come as a surprise to anybody that I get all kinds of ridiculous, dumb, ignorant, angry, whatever comments in the comment section all the time. But there's one person in particular that never lets me down when it comes to showcasing his football ignorance in the comment section. It also shouldn't come as a surprise that he's a Tennessee fan. But anyway, it would be one thing if this guy is trolling, but trust me, he lives in the UNCLELOU comment section about 20 hours a day. And I know for a fact he's not trolling because he's been doing this all season long. These are his actual thoughts and opinions. The guy, he's got to be, he's not the stupidest person in the UNCLELOU comment section, but he's definitely the most football ignorant. And yes, there's a difference between being stupid and being ignorant. Being ignorant, calling someone ignorant is not really an insult. When someone is ignorant, that means they just don't know, or they don't know any better. And I'm gonna give this guy the benefit of the doubt and assume he falls into that category and he's just football ignorant. I had to screenshot a couple of his comments from the last couple of days just to show you guys, but I mean, take a look. I mean, where do we even start here, right? This guy, okay, well, let's start here. Tennessee has played in 5 SEC championship games since 1998 and has won almost half. Well, the closest you can come to this being a true statement is if you somehow trick yourself into believing that 0 is almost half of 5. Of course, the problem with that is Tennessee hasn't even played in 5 since 1998, and of course they've won a grand total of 0 since 1998. 1998 does not include when you say since 1998, that doesn't include 1998. It's since 1998. They've won 0. The guy comes back later in the comment section and says, obviously I meant 97. We've won 2 since 97, 97 and 98, and we've lost 3. 2 is almost half of 5. Yeah, way to try to cover your tracks, buddy. But the point is, again, you're showcasing your football ignorance. Let's take a look at this one. Here we go. Look at this. Tennessee has won 16 SEC titles, which is more than Georgia. Well, congratulations, Voltard. You're the new Alabama fan. The difference is, at least Alabama fan swings for the fences and makes up fake national titles. You're making up fake SEC titles. Why? Jesus, what's wrong with you, sir? 13, son, 13. Now, one more and then we'll get on to the video. I mean, I could go all day with this guy's comments, but one more. Did you know that Tennessee won back-to-back SEC titles in 97 and 98? Yeah, everyone knew that. Did you know that Georgia has never won 2 SEC titles in a row or more? That's something Georgia has never done. They've never won back-to-back SEC titles. They've never done that. Hello, sir. 1980, 81, and 82 called. That's 3 in a row. 3 is more than 2. Jesus H. Christ. What does the H stand for? I don't know. All right, seriously, the video. All my preview and prediction videos are sponsored by the good people at betnow.eu. There's a link in the description of this video. Click that link, it'll take you over there. They'll get you set up with all your college football betting needs for the entire season. They'll cover your bowl season, NFL playoffs, March Madness down the road, whatever you need. When you get over there and sign up, make sure you enter the promo code Uncle Lou. That's one word, all lowercase letters, Uncle Lou, and they'll set you up with a bonus on your deposit. Good luck. All right, noon over on ESPN, Cincinnati versus Virginia Tech in the Military Bowl. Whee! I forgot Virginia Tech even made a bowl game. I think the other day when I was talking about what was I talking about? When I was talking about who Notre Dame had beat this year, their biggest wins, I said Virginia Tech. I don't even think they made a bowl game. Turns out I was wrong. They did. The Military Bowl against Cincinnati. Cincinnati, one of the better Group of 5 teams. Virginia Tech, one of the worst Power 5 teams. Probably the worst bowl-eligible Power 5 team. It would be close. I mean, there's some teams that would give them a run for their money for sure. But Virginia Tech, not a good team. Of course, that lost to Old Dominion earlier in the season. Cincinnati, like I mentioned, spent a lot of the season ranked and one of the better Group of 5 teams. Cincinnati's actually a 7-point favorite in this one. I can't take Virginia Tech. I'm sorry. They've just been that bad this year. I like Cincinnati. Again, expectations. Virginia Tech, a disappointing season. This isn't the type of bowl game they were looking forward to going to back in the preseason at the beginning of this season. Cincinnati, on the other hand, anytime a group of one of these Group of 5 teams gets to play a Power 5 team, it's a huge game for them. I think Cincinnati will show up with a lot of emotion, ready to go in this one, and I think they'll handle Virginia Tech without a problem. Give me the Bearcats, lay the points. All right, the Sun Bowl, Pittsburgh at Stanford, 2 o'clock over on CBS, and Stanford's actually a 4-point favorite in this one. I don't know why. Pittsburgh looked like a better team to me the majority of this year. Stanford, man, hard to figure them out. I'm a David Shaw fan, head coach of Stanford. I've been saying this for a while. It sort of reminds me of a SEC team on the West Coast, right? Always have big offensive lines, like to run the ball, sort of a ground game, clock possession, play good defense type of team. And they've had some success out there in the Pac-12, no national titles, but some big bowl games, some 10-plus win seasons out there. Not this year. Real disappointing. Had Bryce Love coming back, which was the preseason favorite, really, to win the Heisman. He completely disappeared this year. The injury bug has really been brutal to Bryce Love. I'm sure he'll get a shot in the NFL next year, but, man, teams have really got to look at him hard before they consider drafting him too high, I think. Running backs have a short lifespan in the NFL anyway. And then you look at Bryce Love's inability to stay on the field for more than what seems like 2 or 3 games at a time. I think that's a bad recipe for Bryce Love in terms of his NFL draft. And he's not playing in this bowl game. I don't blame him. He's a quitter. Yeah, he's a quitter. But you look at his injury history, he really has no business. I mean, this guy shouldn't be checking the mail without some sort of supervision or bubble wrap. Just Bryce Love. But yeah, I think Pittsburgh has been the better team the majority of the year. You take Stanford's best player away in Bryce Love. I just don't see how Stanford wins this one. Give me the ACC team, Pitt. Plus, we all know the Pac-12 is just garbage, so it'd be a shock to me if I pick any Pac-12 teams to win. Give me Pitt. All right, the San Francisco Bowl. These bowls that you just name it after the city it's in, really? Michigan State versus Oregon. Now, to me, this is one of the probably the most interesting or exciting game of the day, right? Michigan State, disappointing this year. Didn't they have 20 starters back on their team or close to it from a 10-win team last year? Real disappointment for Michigan State and D'Antonio over there. Look at Oregon, Justin Herbert. Everybody thought he was leaving to go to the NFL this year. He was widely considered to be probably the first pick of the draft if he came out. Not just the first quarterback, but the #1 overall pick. He's decided to come back, and he's playing in the bowl game today. Oregon's a 1 or 1.5 point favorite in this one. San Francisco Bowl, 3 o'clock, Fox. I think Oregon is clearly the better team than Michigan State. I know Oregon was a little disappointing, too, based on where they thought they would be and some of the wins they had earlier in the year. Sort of fell apart towards the last quarter of the season or whatever, but I just think Oregon is clearly a better team than Michigan State here. Michigan State's got to travel to the West Coast, unfamiliar territory for Michigan State. Oregon, on the other hand, of course, plays up and down the West Coast all season long, being in the Pac-12. I know I just said on the last video, I doubt I'll pick a single Pac-12 team to win. I lied to you. Yeah, give me the Ducks in this one, though. All right, Missouri versus Oklahoma State in the Liberty Bowl, 3:45 on ESPN. Missouri, 10-point favorite in this one. SEC versus Big 12. Let's see, can the SEC get some revenge? Of course, Vandy goes down to Baylor in what was probably one of the most exciting games of the entire bowl season so far. I don't know how many of you watched that Vandy-Baylor game because, well, it's Vandy and Baylor. But it was a back-and-forth game, lots of points scored. It was an entertaining game, at least Vandy did lose. So Missouri looks to take up the slack for the SEC at 3:45 today against Oklahoma State. Drew Lock's playing. He'll be playing in the NFL next year. Missouri's got some big-time wide receivers, tall, fast, can catch. Look, there's going to be a lot of yards gained in this game, right? Oklahoma State's going to throw the ball around and move the ball around, too. Wouldn't surprise me if this is one of these 1,000-yard type games, right? I'm going to go with Missouri. I'm not a believer in Oklahoma State. Way too inconsistent. And I like Missouri. I like what they've done. Missouri, to me, has been a much better team over the last season and a half than what they're given credit for, I think. Obviously, 2 seasons ago, 2017, they started off horrible. I think they were 1-5 or something. Ended up winning their last 6 games of the regular season before losing the bowl game to Texas. More on that soon. Yeah. And then they had a pretty good year this year, some disappointing losses. But over the point is, in general, I think Missouri's been a little bit better than what they're given credit for. I'm an SEC homer. I'm not going to pick Oklahoma State here. Give me the SEC. Lay the points. 7 o'clock on FS1, Northwestern and Utah. The Holiday Bowl. Utah favored by about 7.5 in this one. Jesus Christ. How are both these teams ranked? Who cares about this game? Not very many people. Give me Utah. 7:30 on ESPN, the Gator Bowl, Texas A&M and NC State. Texas A&M favored by 7.5. This game had a lot of potential. This game could have been, it may still be, a pretty interesting and exciting game. The problem is 2 of North Carolina State's best players have quit and are not playing in this bowl game. One of their top wide receivers and probably their best defensive player. Now, they still have Ryan Finley at quarterback that can sling the ball around, and their leading receiver in terms of number of receptions is playing in this game, but still they're missing 2 of probably their best 3 or 4 players out of this game. Texas A&M, another sort of high-flying, powerful offense led by Kelly Mond. Some great receivers, big, tall receivers over at Texas A&M. Travion Williams. Travion Williams might be the best running back in America that no one talks about. And I know some people talk about him, but this guy is really, really good. He's fun to watch. If you guys haven't seen a Texas A&M game this year, check this game out tonight, 7:30. It's the nightcap game. It's the primetime game tonight, the Gator Bowl. Check this game out. Travion Williams is fun to watch. Jimbo Fisher, huge coaching advantage here, Texas A&M in my mind. And it does hurt Texas A&M missing these players. I think Texas A&M is a better team than NC State, even when NC State is at full strength. Take away 2 of NC State's best players, and this game just looks like a mismatch to me. I think Texas A&M runs away with this game. I don't even think it'll be close. Give me the Aggies, lay the points. All right, there you go. There's some dry-ass games for today, though. So are they worth watching? I don't know. Happy New Year, though, and also another video coming up today. Guess what tomorrow is? Who plays tomorrow? My Georgia Bulldog. Who we playing? Texas. Yep, some hype and hate coming for that game, maybe. Maybe some come get you some. We'll see. We'll see. That video up later addressing these Texas fans. Man, they come out of the woodwork, didn't they? Up until about 6 months ago, you couldn't find a Texas fan on the internet. They didn't exist. The state of Texas must have just got the internet this past September. I don't know. Anyway, point is that video will be coming later. Appreciate you guys watching this preview video. Great games tomorrow, but today, kind of a dry slate, let's be honest. Happy New Year's Eve to everybody. Hope you guys have a good time tonight. Be safe, stay safe, all that kind of stuff. And I'll see you again real soon. Good morning.